and I was born in Seminole, Oklahoma. My mother and father, they left the Indian Nations in Oklahoma. Good Traveler is my grandmother's father, and he was in the Indian Nation. Grandma was in the Indian Nations, and mother was very young when they left. In American Indian, between Journey, Yellow Jacket, Good Traveler was in the Trail of Tears, and then the rest of my grandmother was Connor. I first got enough money picking cotton, fruit in Texas to get a round-trip airline train to Center Fill where my grandmother lived. Well, I went to high school at Center Fill High. I didn't know what sports was. I had to milk cows every night and morning in the 8th grade. So what happened was I went to school and the PE teacher says, "Hey Charlie, you're American Indian, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." "Well, I want you to run the half mile today in PE class." I said, "Well, okay, what's a half a mile? 2 laps around." And I did. I won by 200 yards or whatever. It was a long ways. And he says, "Hey, I want you on the track team." Okay. So I went out for track, earned my letter, and then next year I went out for basketball, or football, basketball, track. My junior year I went to state meet, the school record for 24 years, you know, and college records. And then I ended up, after the Korean service, as head track coach at the University of Pacific. 55. I was assistant track coach. Next year I had Big Bass when I was head track coach. Here's my first football team at Lincoln High ever had. Same bunch here, but they honored me 50 last year, 1906, because of this team was 50 years old. And he'd say, "Charlie, I want you to come be my head track coach." Okay. And everything. So I figured I'd coached about 5,000 kids. So what I'm so proud about is I'm the first in the whole American nation to get a teaching credential. I had a swimmer that took 3rd in the Olympics. I taught her to put her face underwater when she was 5. Another girl at the YMCA in Stockton, I went down and worked with swimming programs because I got credit units for it. And her father was the manager, and this girl, about 12, I worked with her for a good year. She went on to take 1st in the Olympics in Mexico. Right. Jane Swaggerty was in Japan. The follow 68, I played whenever Japan was. And then I had Duncan McDonald run a 4:11 high school mile for me at Kailua. He went on to Stanford, broke their mile record, broke Steve P. Fontaine's 5,000 meter U.S. record, and represented the Montreal Olympics. And then, of course, I had some NFL players. The greatest high school player ever come out of Northern California was Dick Bass, Vallejo. One game, he carried the ball 6 times, made 5 touchdowns. He come to Pacific. I was head track coach at Pacific. He came up there to play football and baseball, but he didn't want to go. His freshman year, he wanted to run track and build his speed up. So I had him as a freshman. Greatest first 1,000-yard gainer for LA Rams. And he just died about 6 months ago. And let's see, I had Clyde Connor. I showed you a picture of Clyde. He was on the track team.
Yeah.
He went on to be first string with Y.A. Tito, 49ers. He was grab the ball and fall out of bounds on the first. And I had Russ Francis. He played 49er offensive end over here. He played JV football in Hawaii, Kailua. And then I had Ronnie Cruz. I was head track coach over here, 30 miles up at Lakeville. And he won the 100-yard league. And he's a great football player. Why do I had my last year, I had 2 girls to go to state of California in the hurdles. When and I go to the relays, and I win all the hurdles every year. And they ask the coach to come up and say, hey, how come you have good hurdles every year? And I said, well, it's my coaching. And I said, I'm not any different than you. You could do the same thing. And how I would do it is this, or how I did it. Usually you get a girl that's 14 years old, or a boy, freshman. They come out for track. You start making them go over hurdles, they're going to fall, they're going to be bloody, everything. I don't. I say, come here. You're a 6-foot-tall freshman. I want to make a hurdler out of you. I don't know. Hey, I fall. You know, because they're in the 8th grade and they try to... No. You take the hurdles and put regulation in the 2nd lane. You go to the 4th lane and put the regulation hurdles. Then I take... See that easy tape right there?
Yeah.
I take that tape and I put it on the number 1 hurdle, stretch it all the way over to the 4th hurdle. I do the 2nd lane. I do the 3rd. That's all I do. I make them go over the tape.
Ah.
They go over the tape until maybe a week before the first meet.
I see.
And I make them get down low on it. If you hit the tape, it's not going to hurt.
That's an excellent
See?
technique.
I mean, why do I have good hurdlers?
Because they don't get, you don't beat them up to begin with, huh?
That's right. And then they get to liking it, and then they get over it, and then they come back. And then, of course, I was a distance runner. And why did I have a 4:11 high school miler in Hawaii? Why did I have 4? You was a runner. I had 4 half milers, 2 minutes or under. Duncan, 152, 156, 158, and a 2 flat. Wow. That was the national high school 2-mile record. The only thing is we couldn't get to the mainland to a big meet to prove it.
Wow.
Now, how did I do it? Speed. Speed work. You see? Speed. Speed. And I'd go down to the ocean when I was at Kailua, and we'd run about knee deep in the water.